Hey there, we have a new question. Calculate the range of values of x given that x minus 5 multiplied by 3x minus 6 is lesser than 0. Basically, this falls under the chapter of inequalities. Okay. Objective of this question is we want to find the range of values of x, the x here, given that the multiplication of these two is lesser than 0. So first step, work with what we are given. X minus 5 multiplied by 3x minus 6 is given to be less than 0. Okay, use expansion, okay, to simplify these steps. So what we do is x times 3x, we will get 3x squared. X times 6 or negative 6, we will get negative 6x. Okay, and not forgetting the second term, we have negative 5 multiplied by 3x. This will give us negative 15x. And we still have one more term, negative 5 multiplied by negative 6. This will give us a positive 30. Okay, and not forgetting the sign, lesser than 0. Okay, next step, we will further simplify this. So 3x squared minus 6x minus 15x would be minus 21x plus 30 lesser than 0. Okay, notice that this is a quadratic kind of expression, and this can be further simplified by dividing by 3 throughout the whole expression. Okay, so divide by 3, x squared minus 21 divided by 3, 7x plus 30 divided by 3, 10. And these are all lesser than 0. So this is the final step, final expression that we are working with. This cannot be further factorized. This cannot be further simplified anymore. Okay, so our next step is to factorize these expressions. So what we do is, okay, using the multiplication framework, xx, okay, think of some of the factors of 10 that would together give us 7 somehow. So 10, we know we have 1 times 10, we have 2 times 5. 2 and 5 would possibly give us a 7 later on. 1 and 10, not quite. So the two possible factors will be 2 and 5. Okay, let's just ignore the signs that each of them will take. Okay, let's just do a cross multiplication. X times 5, 5x, x times 2, 2x. We need a negative 7x eventually, which will mean that eventually this should take on a minus sign. This should also take on a minus sign to give us a minus 7x eventually. Okay, which means that we must also put a minus here and a minus here, so that x multiplied by negative 5 will give us a negative 5x, and x multiplied by negative 2 will give us a negative 2x. Okay, and checking, okay, whether these fulfill the condition of a plus, then negative 2 times negative 5 would give us indeed a positive 10. While x and x times x will give us x squared. So these fulfills whatever we have here, and so we can safely say that x minus 2 times x minus 5 is lesser than 0. Okay, so this part here is actually factorized from this part here. Okay, and moving on, okay, x minus 2 times x minus 5 is lesser than 0. This is actually a quadratic expression. Okay, and since the coefficient of the x squared term is a positive 1, it should be a U-shaped graph. Okay, so how we would sketch this is something like this. Okay, just sketch your y and your x axis. Okay, this curve will be a U-shaped curve, and we know that one of the intercepts is 2, one of the x-intercepts is 5. Okay, given that x minus 2 times x minus 5 is less than 0, one of the x-intercept when y goes to 0 is 2, while when y equals to 0, there's another intercept x equals to 5. So the curve will look something like this. Given that D says that the whole curve, okay, is lesser than 0, this actually means y is lesser than 0. Given that 0 is here at the origin, y lesser than 0 means whichever part of the graph that is below the x-axis. Okay, because y equals to 0 is here, so anything below y equals to 0 will be y lesser than 0. Okay, which are the negative regions of y. So the only possible shaded part will be this. Okay, this is the only portion where this curve x squared minus 7x plus 10 is lesser than 0. So we would say that the answer of the range of x will be x is between 2 and 5. So this is our answer. Okay, let's go back to the question. Find the range of values of x given that the whole equation is lesser than 0. So after manipulating, we have found out that the eventual equation is this. After factorizing, we get this form so as to find the intercepts of the graph. And since the equation says that it is lesser than 0, we will shade the portion of the graph that's below the x-axis. So x will be between 2 and 5. Okay, hope this clarifies.